Representing Spain, Andrea Munoz. From Colorado, Kaylee Geist. From Great Britain, World Archery Champion Ella Gibson. Ella, a multiple World Archery medal winner. Andrea Becerra of Mexico is up next. From California, World Champion Paige Pierce. From Colombia, World Cup Champion Alejandra Usquiano. From Utah, World Field Medalist Linda Ochoa Anderson. From Idaho, Beretta McKee. From Utah, Abigail Winterton. From Colombia, World Champion, World Cup Champion, Vegas Champion Sarah Lopez. And from Denmark, 2024 Vegas Shoot Champion Tanya Galantine.
Greg White, Crystal Govan here at the Vegas Shoot 2025 at the PH Live Theater at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino,
really nice
where the 11 women
if all of you
in the
would turn around
championship
and face
compound
the crowd,
female category are out here.
Good picture of the whole group.
All of them.
Give them a big round of applause.
$8.99, only dropped one single arrow apiece. Gracen Fletcher from Indiana able to win it on a perfect 900. So we're trying to determine who's going to be basically second through 11th at this point. Crystal, you have had an opportunity to shoot against several of these women that are out on stage right now. Talk about the toughness of these athletes and their competitiveness.
Again, congratulations, ladies. At this time,
oh, I mean, it's anyone's game out there. As you heard, as they're walking out, you know, multi-time world champions, World Cup champions, Vegas champions, they're all out there. So this really is the best of the best, shooting off for second.
Pretty crazy. A couple fresh faces out there that are new to, to us, to this category. Obviously, championship compound female. A couple of the shooters that are coming up through the ranks, but that's a good look at Tanya Galantine, new mom, and I had a chance to hang out with her after their baby was born in Switzerland earlier or I guess late, 2024. So just a few months ago during the Indoor Archery World Series event, the first one of the season. That was in Switzerland. And pretty incredible, Crystal, because Thor, their son, was basically sleeping in the stroller. And I had been knocked out of my tournament, so I sat there and babysat while she went through her elimination matches. And
yeah,
she's
it's
relatively
one thing that's
chill.
Yeah, it's one thing that's really been great to see across the women's division. And I think part of the reason we're seeing more and more depth is women are staying in the sport, even as they're having kids. And the other competitors are all helping each other out. You see,
field of play here at PH
first with Toya, then with Linda. now
frankly, the
Tanya,
most
you know, other
spectacular
competitors
venue we
watching
have
the baby
enjoyed
while
for
they're
the biggest
shooting,
shoot so far.
pitching in, and everyone's just excited to see these people continue to shoot, and so it's really great.
So many talented shooters, so many
All right, so 20
tremendous
yards from
accomplishments.
the line where the archers are going to be shooting from down to
All
the
of them
target.
shooting for
And then
a
how are we going to score
significant
this first end,
second
Crystal?
or third place, because it makes it
The first end,
enormous
well, I think
difference in the
that was
amount
their
of
end of
money
practice. So now first end of scoring is
have
going to be
earned
just like the Vegas shoot. So we're going
in
to
this
score 10s and
championship
X's.
category here at the Vegas shoot. Bruce Cull will give each of these shooters one practice end, and after that, he'll explain the procedure for all of us.
All right, competitors,
Bruce.
this is your first and only official practice end. Got the regular 120 seconds, archers to the line, and good luck.
So you hear that 120 seconds. So there's quite a bit of time. They can shoot more than 3 arrows if they want during practice.
Would you typically do that yourself? If you know, especially in this pressure situation coming up with only one end of practice.
Yeah, a lot of times I would just kind of to work out the nerves, and I was more of a high volume shooter, so for me, just it felt good to get into my rhythm. Whereas the first arrow, maybe not so much. So if I could fire off a couple arrows quickly, always felt good to me. But everyone, again, it's a mental thing. What works for you. The tricky thing here is you only have 3 spots to aim at. So unless you have one that's really far out, you really don't want to be shooting at your own arrows and breaking them.
So just looking at our scoring over the weekend from INCO.net, the high X count in this class was actually Elisa Roner from Italy, 81 X's, but it was 2 points that she actually dropped the first day. So she shot 298 and then 300 to secure 13th position with 81 X's. And then Andrea Munoz Saiz from Spain, who is really a rising star in the sport, is our number one qualifier in terms of this second place group
Competitors will be
with
shooting for
80
score.
X's. And that was actually 9 more X's than Gracen Fletcher ended up shooting, who was the winner of this. But first and foremost is going to be your points. So for Andrea Saiz from Spain, 1 point the very first day. For Haley Geist from Colorado, 1 point dropped on the last day, heartbreaker day. So same thing with Usquiano from Colombia, and Tanya Galantine dropped that single point on the last day.
And then we'll go where the X counts as 10.
Yeah, and going back to X count, that's where it's always interesting to see, you know, sometimes you have shooters that do really great at all the World Archery events, consistently on the top, you know, of the podium, shooting X's. But when they miss big, and it's a 9 in Vegas. And so you see that a lot where top international shooters aren't necessarily at the top of the Vegas.
Would represent what would be the 10 ring for WA, but the larger ring.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is like when you look generally at someone who's going to shoot a high X count, the one thing you can get from that is this person is riding high on confidence. Even though they may have missed that single point to get here, that high X count versus someone who may have the same score but 8 or 10 less X's, generally we don't see that person all of a sudden rise to the top and then not miss an X. So there is some level of confidence which creates some predictability from a commentator standpoint. Here we go.
Once they make it to this point, well, the second scoring end, and it goes to X's for sure. But just getting there, it's a different game.
Well, you can see a lot.
This again is
very
standard
strong.
Vegas scoring.
Yeah, standard Vegas scoring. You see from that shot we had too, Crystal, just a ton of really strong bow arms. A lot of archers holding the bow up after the release of the shot, and that's just such a key component to a good shot.
Yeah, you won't see many weak shots here.
Lopez with a 9 on her second shot.
Linda Ochoa Anderson, of course, her husband Steve.
No one knows who he is.
Nobody
we all know
knows
who
her
Linda
dad
is. Come on.
He dropped one single
it's all about
point
Linda.
himself. Yeah. I wonder who had a higher X count between the two, because they shot the same score,
It's a
899.
good question. You're right. Yep.
Who won that battle at the house?
Yeah.
It's great. If you don't follow Linda Choi Anderson,
Haley Geist looks like
she's
she's
great
got
to
a
follow on
30.
Instagram because she keeps you kind of updated as to her
Like a
progress
30 for Andrea
on her
Becerra
archery
of
journey
Mexico.
after having little Stevie, their child.
Alejandra Usquiano catching a 10-10-10.
Usquiano going 10-10-10.
Including an inside-out 10 on her first shot. And
I got to hang out with Alejandra Usquiano
first shot.
a couple times actually when I was over in Europe shooting World Archery in
Sarah
November. And
Lopez.
she's a ton of fun to hang out with. Had a
Appears to have
great laugh.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a
one out
language
of the
barrier
10.
between us, but yeah, she giggled a lot. Maybe at me instead of with me, but
Yes, probably.
yeah, it's hard to say.
It's what most of us do.
Oh,
Geist,
I see.
30.
So 30 is the benchmark.
Gibson, 30.
So with the first two in,
Becerra, 30.
Paige got a pretty good looking target right now.
Pierce, 30. Uquiano, 30.
That was close.
A for effort, Bruce.
Ooh, look at target one on
Oh,
Sarah
yeah,
Lopez.
Sarah's
Looks
got
like
a-
she might be high.
Yeah, she's. Yep. Oh, that's definitely out.
Anderson, 30.
Yeah, you can see that with your young eyes, I bet. Lucky you.
McKee, 30.
She might be. Oh, there might be another one too. Who's it? Oh no, that's Sarah's. Okay. Let's see.
Winterton,
Might be the
30.
only one to drop.
Lopez, 29.
And this just shows you. I mean, she's won Vegas before.
And
She shot a
Dylan
900, and
30. Give a big round
Happens
of
to
applause
everybody.
to Sarah Lopez,
Certainly
who
does.
has been eliminated from the competition.
It bears mentioning that Sarah
Bit of a
Lopez
shock, but
never
this
shoots
that really
indoor
is archery in a
ever.
nutshell.
So, pretty good run, considering.
I thought it was awesome when Sarah Lopez decided to go to the championship open category and compete. You know, a lot of people were talking in general about how the
All right.
women have just
Andrea
really
Munoz,
started to
Haley
elevate and get on
Geist,
equal
Ella Gibson,
footing with a
Andrea
lot of the men,
Becerra,
and she
Paige
decided
Pierce,
to step up
Alejandra Usquiano,
and had a good
Linda
run at it.
Ochoa Anderson,
But-
Greta McKee, Abigail Winterton, and Tanya Galantine.
I think it's different,
Still in
not the
contention
gender bit,
for second or
because it's
third
20
place
yards
here
and
at
people
Vegas
compete. I think the biggest
2025.
difference is the pressure of $50,000 plus whatever your sponsors are
Well,
putting up.
and any, to be honest, any woman, any young adult that goes into it, there's so much. I think there's an added level of pressure because
Okay, this will be your
you're
second
the
official
woman
end of
representing
scoring,
all
and
women in
now
that
the X
division, and
counts
I think
10.
I would love to
Once
see
again,
a
the X
group of
counts as 10.
5 or 10 women go
Archers
all
to the
together
line.
as one unit,
Good
and
luck.
I bet you we'd have some 900s.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because yeah, all eyes are on you if you're not lining up as just some dude, right? Just some dude
Yeah,
in
exactly.
that category.
Yep. Yep.
All right, so we've only dropped one. Now we're going to the innermost ring, which is normally counted as an X, is the only ring on the target face that's valued at 10.
X ring for Linda.
So
X
all the
ring
rest of
for
the yellow is going to be a
Greta.
9.
Tanya has dropped a big 9. Liner
Doesn't matter if
for
it's
Greta
big or
McKee.
small. They're all kind of the
exactly.
same.
Yeah, big 9. A 9's a 9. But the other thing to point out, too, is that the highest score, regardless of whose target it is, you either have to tie that score, the highest score. So if everyone shoots a 29, then 29 is the score. So
Yep.
you can see Galantine high. Linda.
Linda made a face
Joe
on that one.
Anderson with, you know, the grimace. Yeah, not happy. Pulls out the binos. Glasses it up, as we say.
Paige looks
looked
happy with
happy,
hers. Yeah.
You and I are seeing the same thing.
Well,
for
about
sure.
half of the competitors may be gone after
Yeah, there's
this
definitely some
segment
drops.
end.
Hey, if you're just joining us, the Vegas Shoot 2025
Bruce
here at the
is gonna make
PH
a call
Live
along with
Theater
our
at the
judges.
Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. This is Championship Compound Female Shoot Off for second place.
Munoz,
The winner was Gracen Fletcher with a perfect 900. And all of these athletes shot 899 to put themselves in this position. We've already seen one of the best in the world, Sarah Lopez,
Guys,
drop out. This is our
28.
second end of competition. We are shooting smallest ring in the center. Some people call it the baby 10, the X ring. That's the only ring that counts as a maximum 10 points.
Gibson, 30.
Oh, we have our first 30.
Yeah.
So that's the score to match
Sarah,
now.
29.
Whoop. Judge having a close look at Paige. Paige also having a look.
All of hers are high. Give it a couple clicks there, Paige.
Pierce, 30.
Okay, so we got 2 still in.
Look at that target 3. That target 3 arrow kick. That's a half
Yep,
shafter
but-
out.
Cristiano, 29.
Much better. He got coaching from Paige on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Anderson, 29.
I think there's still
It'll be
only
interesting-
2 with 30s.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do though. If they need to shoot off for 4th, 5th, or if they just go. There's so many.
McKee, 29.
If they're just going to go with X count.
I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Winterton, 29.
A lot of 29s out there.
Yeah. That's why I said once it goes to X count, it all changes.
Yeah.
And Gillantine,
It's just a mental
28.
switch. All weekend
Two
you're just
competitors
worried about
still
hitting the
standing.
10 ring.
Was Tanya Gellantine, I think,
Gibson
the
of
only 28 we
GBR.
saw?
And
No, the
Paige
first 2 were
Pierce of
28s.
California.
First 2 were 28s, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 2 30s, and they're the last 2 left. Everybody else, sorry, but next year. You're going to split a whole bunch of money. Thank you all. Give them a big round of applause. We've got 2 30s left. Everybody else can take their targets down.
The retiring competitors will be ranked by X count in the Vegas shoot for prize
Okay.
money distribution.
So I don't know why they did it different for the
Now
other
shooting for
divisions,
second
but
and third, Alec
Yeah, for the
Gibson of
youth.
Great Britain versus Paige Pierce of the United States
But
of
we are
America.
where we are.
give them some experience.
Yeah, 2 remaining to decide who's going to be 2nd and 3rd place. Reminder, Gracen Fletcher from Indiana with the big W. The only competitor out of the 102 that competed in the championship compound female category shot a perfect 900 score for an all-by-yourself victory. Alone at the top.
And now we're down to Paige and Ella, who are no strangers to shooting off against one another. They both have shot against each other in a variety of disciplines. Both shoot field. They both have done World Cups, whole host of different events.
Those are those panic shots, right? Like, oh, come on, really? It went off and the dot wasn't quite in the middle.
Yep. That was pretty quick. One end down to 2. I didn't expect
Ella
that,
Gibson,
to be
Paige
honest.
Pierce, both shot 30s. They're in for another end of shooting.
These 2, though, like you
The
mentioned.
X counts as 10. Good luck, ladies.
I mean, can you
Archers
imagine
to the
how
line.
many victories are between these 2 athletes? Like
Oof.
across all the disciplines, really, right?
That's
You know,
the thing,
Paige
right?
is-
They both shoot everything.
Everything. Such a complete shooter. field and safaris.
And that's why you
indoor.
see Ella's ranked world #1 right now, and that really comes down to she shoots indoors, she shoots field, she shoots outdoors, which all go into it. And there's other women who don't. They may be, winning more on the outdoor circuit, but she's shooting all 3 events.
There's the first bobble, though, from Gibson. That's going to be a 9. Paige's first arrow is a 10. Look at the rig that Paige has going on with that stabilizer setup.
They're so long.
Second shot is an X. Looks
I
like
think her
Paige
rear
has
rods are
a
as long as some
9.
people's front rods.
Without question. They might. Those rods are so long, her
the
sidebars,
X
that
is
they
long.
might even be illegal. You couldn't even use those in the hunter category. They're way too long.
Yeah.
She's got stabilizers to stabilize stabilizers.
Paige with an X.
Paige isn't
Ella's
afraid to
previous
play
shot
with
was also
stuff,
an
that's
X.
for
No.
sure.
Could have a draw.
Yeah.
We'll find out
Paige
when
had an
Bruce said the
opportunity
judges-
there.
Looks like they're both
Looks
29.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll wait for official
Paige's second
confirmation.
arrow, Ella's first.
Gibson, 29. And Pierce, 29. We'll do it again.
We'll do it again.
Looks like the situation is that the archers would like to change target faces. I can't blame them.
I was waiting for that.
After just a couple ends, they're shot out pretty well.
I had a feeling those big fat arrows really
Great
create
precision
holes, and if you got
from both
9s.
ladies, Paige Pierce and Ella Gibson.
The one thing you're going to see, they're going to hang their target slightly off from where their last target was again, just to prevent any arrows from getting pulled.
Paige
Funny.
Pierce, of course, has been on the top podium here at Vegas before, as well as at other events like the Championship.
That
of the
actually
World.
is a
Ella
good
Gibson with her
point, Crystal,
share
that you kind of
World
bring
Cup
up. It's like
medals.
with experience,
Both of them
oftentimes
tremendously accomplished
you get
archers.
to
Paige
learn
Pierce
not
with
only
a
obviously
lengthy
how your
career
shot
so
is,
far for
lighting
such a young person.
conditions, whatever situation there is,
Started out as a junior
but you get to kind
compound
of know
competitor,
the
has
targets
been
that
the
you're
top
shooting on.
podiums ever since.
And the morel targets that we shoot are very good
Pride of
targets,
Central
but
California.
if you start off on a
Okay,
morel
ladies,
target
same format.
XXX
X counts as
and then you
10.
do it again,
Archers
right?
to the
Like
You're
wall.
loving it.
XXX.
Good luck.
Yeah, you're loving it because it really will, like, almost in a way guide your arrow into that hole if you're just a
Yeah.
little bit off.
Yeah. Sucks it right in.
Yep. I've had that happen. Had a 14x half before, and then you have to change targets in NFA from top to bottom, and
Paige with an X.
I was into that.
And also Ella with an X.
Into those X count. Good shot by Paige.
You
Up
shot a 300 here before.
I have. I'm looking at the target hanging on my wall right now. Not a big X count, but we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter in Vegas. It's all about the 300.
Paige with an X. Ella with a 9.
Good friend of mine from
you can
here,
tell
where
by
I
her
live, is Ella
face.
goes high. Yeah, good friend of mine from here who shot his first Vegas. He asked me advice, and I had said to him, whatever your arrow average is at home, if you can equal that in Vegas, you've done an outstanding job.
That's huge. Yep, yep.
We only show you
Then to
these
win,
matches
Paige
here,
Pierce
these shoot-off
appears
matches,
to
as it looks like
have
Paige is
off
going
the
to come
line.
in with a solid 30 points and take
Bruce will make
second
it
place.
official with the judges in a moment.
And
be
that's
a
really
flip
what
over.
makes the winner of this division so much more impressive. Hearing her say that was her first 300. I mean, I know how that feels to shoot your first 300 in Vegas, but she did it 3 days in a row. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
Gibson,
Although I
29.
will say that after you shoot your first 300 in Vegas, the second one, especially if you're here,
Is easier.
right? If you shot it Friday or Saturday, your
Yeah.
second one goes
Yeah.
a lot easier.
Yep.
So congratulations
Second
to
place for
Paige Pierce, who will get
and
second
third
place
for
in the
Ella
category
Gibson of
for
Great Britain.
this
Congratulations
year.
to both competitors after
And
a
Ella
grueling
Gibson
3 days of
will
shooting
be
to come
third.
here to the PH
And once
Live
again, tip the
Theater
cap
for
to
the greatest
Gracen
stage
Fletcher
in the sport of
from
archery
Indiana here in the United
to finish
States
up
on
their
her
rivalry.
victory in the championship
Let's hear
compound
it from
female
both of these great
category
competitors,
with her
ladies and
perfect
gentlemen.
900 score. And like Crystal said, she shot her very first 300 ever
And for
on
the
Thursday,
under 9
did it again
ladies who made
Friday,
it to the
and then
final
on
here today.
Saturday. The perfect Vegas. So, Crystal, we're going to shift gears a little bit here for the next match coming up, because now we're going to.
Are we going to see some winners now?
Winners. We got 2 categories to decide winners.
Yay!
Yeah, that's right. Coming up next is going to be Championship Recurve Female. Casey Kaufhold, Victoria Sebastian from France, both coming in with 883s. Kaufhold with 42 X's and Sebastian with 37 X's. So that next match that we have coming up, once we get all this sorted, is going to determine who wins in the Championship Recurve Female category. I'm excited.
And their score at an 883, that would have put them top 10, I think 8th or 9th in the men's division. So pretty good shooting on with these women.
Yeah, without question. And I think also part of that is, how do you prioritize what you're going to do, right? You know, we've been around, you and I, long enough to know that in Olympic years, some people don't prioritize indoor at all. They'll come shoot indoor because they want to shoot, but they won't change their setup at all. And so you see scores maybe drop a little bit. And during those off seasons, you'll see, those off times, you'll see people go full in on the indoor season. Well, congratulations to Paige Pierce on her being at top of the pile on the 11-way tie for second place.